Dexter Reed, World of Matchups, coming to you with a little off-season information. Today we are going to break down my top 10 quarterbacks moving into the 2022-2023 season for the National Football League. So let's get started, all right? At number 10, I have Derek Carr, quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, a lot of people, myself included in the past, have not been on the Derek Carr bandwagon. Carr, for me, has always been the type of quarterback there's always been some excuse why this guy didn't excel. A lot of people forget that in 2016, if he would have never really got injured, Carr would have been on his way to an MVP-type season. And when you look at what he did last year after Henry Ruggs was arrested with the weapons that he had, I know he didn't make a lot of huge throws, but to get that team into the playoffs and be within one play of moving on, you got to start looking at this guy for what he is. They gave him a decent contract. It's what the going rate for quarterbacks is. And then now he's got Davante Adams. So Davante Adams on one side, Hunter Renfrow on the other side, Darren Waller in the middle. I think that Derek Carr is going to throw for 4,800 yards and no less than 30 to 35 touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me if he did more than that, but this is the AFC West. It's going to be high-powered offenses going against each other every single week. They're going to be down in a lot of games. When you look at that tough schedule, he's going to have to throw a lot, which for me will land him at number 10. I don't love Derek Carr, but I think at best this year he can crack the top 10, and so a lot of people are going to think I'm crazy for that, but I'm going to die on that hill alone. At number 9, I have Dak Prescott. Now, the Cowboys haven't done a whole lot to help Dak, but Dak is still Dak, and it just seems like every time I count Dak out, Dak shows up, and he has big seasons. I expect CeeDee Lamb to take that next step as wide receiver 1. I like Dalton Schultz in the middle. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the other side, because they really don't have much now that Amari Cooper is gone. You give a long-term deal to a guy coming off of ACL. I don't really like that. I see them being down in a lot of games as well, and Dak is going to have to throw. I think people forget that Dak has wheels and he can run. And while a lot of his production comes in garbage time, Dak is still a solid quarterback with a pretty decent IQ and pretty decent football acumen. I think they're going to learn from how their season ended last year, and they're going to have to fight to stay in a lot of games, which for me lands Dak at number 9. Number 8, Justin Herbert. This might be low for some people. But it's not that low for me, okay? It's not that low for me. While he's had flashes, everybody saw what he was able to do last year in that overtime game versus Vegas. There's no denying the talent that Justin Herbert has. Justin Herbert's an absolute stud with a huge arm, and he's got weapons, and he's got a hero RB in Austin Eckler. Like I said earlier, the AFC West is going to be a fight every single week. And Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers, they're going to have to throw to stay in games. And this guy's talent is going to be on stage this year. I thought last year might have been the year that he took that next step to potentially maybe being an MVP candidate. But he's still a little raw, lost some games that he should have won, didn't play that well, a couple pick sixes at very inopportune times. But, 6'6", 240, 250, big, strong, tough, can take over the field. I like Justin Herbert, but I don't like him higher than 8 this year. I think he's a very, very good player, but I think playing in the toughest division in football will be an Achilles heel for him. It'll be really interesting to see how the LA Chargers defense responds, because if they're porous, he'll be on the field a lot. Kind of like when Patrick Mahomes had his 50 touchdown season. The Chiefs defense was terrible, which gave him a lot more opportunities, and I think that's kind of what it could take. And I think with the additions of J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack, you're going to see them be a more stout defense, which will limit his opportunities. But I do like Justin Herbert, but I only like him at 8. At number 7, surprising to a lot of people, I have Russell Wilson. And even though he's going into his age 34-year season of life. I think Russ has needed to cook now for years and has not been given that opportunity. I said on the show last year that either he had to go or Pete Carroll had to go, and so it was him, and I think he'll be better off for it. It kind of reminds me of when Peyton Manning went to the Denver Broncos and that team ended up winning a Super Bowl, and they're rolling the dice that this could be the same thing with Russell Wilson. Let's not forget the studs that he's surrounded by. Now, I know Melvin Gordon's on the other side at 30, but Javonte Williams is an absolute stud, so your run game is set there. We all know that Jerry Jeudy is really good. If he can get his off-the-field problems intact, they'll be fine there. They have a really good wide receiver in Courtland Sutton, KJ Hamler. They got Tim Patrick. They got weapons all over the field. Now, they know they lost Noah Fant, but they've got a good tight end there as well. New coaching philosophy. They're going to use the weapons they have. They're going to air the ball out. Russell's still good with his legs when he has to be. And he's an older, seasoned veteran who has won a Super Bowl and went back to another Super Bowl. For that reason and that reason only, I'm putting him at number 7. He's surrounded by a great defense, and do not be surprised to see the Denver Broncos back in the Super Bowl. It wouldn't surprise me at all. This is a proud, storied franchise that knows how to win. At number 6, Mr. Ice in his veins, Joey Burrow. Joe Burr. This guy is ice cold. I see a lot of Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. Now, he went to the Super Bowl really early in his career, and I think that with the weapons that he has alone, you cannot put him any lower than 6. Big arm, tons of swag. You know, you got great wide receivers all over the place. Look, their offensive philosophy is going to be to throw the ball. This is what they do. They can grind it out, sprinkle Joe Mixon in there, okay, but T. Higgins on one side, Jamar Chase on the other side, and they've upgraded their offensive line, which was their Achilles heel last year. They are now going to be the hunted. They were the hunter this last season. Now they're going to be the hunted. People are going to be coming for the Cincinnati Bengals because they're not going to be a bunch of, no-name frauds and easy W's for anybody anymore. So that means they're going to be airing this ball out, maybe even more than they were last year. Now, I know they lost C.J. Uzomah. That's not a huge loss, but those wide receivers' production is just going to go through the ceiling. And I like Joe Burrow's mindset. He is an aggressive attack-style quarterback. They're not waiting for you to bring the fight to them. They are punching you first, and I like that. I think they take this next step. They've gone out and signed guys like Daxton Hill to shore up that defense. They're going to be in a lot of games, and he is going to prove to everybody that going to the Super Bowl was not a fluke. And for that reason and that reason alone, I like Joe Burrow at number 6 going into 2022-2023. At number 5, Mr. I'm retiring, Mr. I'm unretiring, the GOAT of all GOATs, Mr. Thomas Brady. Look, we all can't stand Brady. We can't believe he's back. But did anyone really think he was going to retire? None of us did. And now he's back. And as long as they have guys like Mike Evans to throw the ball to, playoff Lenny, that team is stacked. It always has been now, and it definitely is. It's going to be really interesting to see the offensive philosophy that they are going to have now that coach has stepped down and headed into the front office. But Tom Brady's not going out like that. And Tom Brady gets better protection than Joe Biden. And so he's going to throw the ball all over the place. I expect nothing less than 3,800 yards and 35 touchdowns from Tom Brady. Just the fact that he's the GOAT, he's going to be in top 5. It's just how it goes. The guy's won 1 million rings. He knows football. He knows the hash marks. He knows the X's and O's. He's got the referees in his pocket. Tom Brady, on any level, even in a wheelchair, cannot be less than number 5 on anyone's top 10 quarterback list until he retires. Next, Matthew Stafford, quarterback that a lot of people didn't give a lot of love to. And I was telling all you guys that Stafford is a G. Okay, Matthew Stafford is the toughest quarterback in the National Football League. Just go on any YouTube and just type in Matthew Stafford Lions. The guy took beatings for that team for years, for almost over a decade, and played hurt. He knows how to run. He can throw, and he's got Cooper Kupp, and now he's got Allen Robinson. And Cam Akers is no slouch. I know they lose Sony Michel, but again, Sean McVay's offensive philosophy is to air it out, to go after the other team. We're going to cut you first, and you're going to see nothing less than the numbers he put up this last season during the Super Bowl run and when they brought the chip home. I think the Rams are in perfect position to go back to the Super Bowl. We all know that running it back is not that easy. Ask the Chiefs, but even if they get back there, I think it will be because of the throwing arm of Matthew Stafford. He doesn't get his flowers enough, and he is my number 4 quarterback going into this year's 2022-23 season. At number 3, I have Aaron Rodgers. Now, I know a lot of you may think I'm crazy because Devontae is gone. The team is basically decimated. That's a gut punch. He's paid, but they don't have a whole lot around him. But Aaron Rodgers' name is Aaron Rodgers' name. It's just that simple. No one turns the ball over less than Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback position. No one is as accurate as Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback position, and I know he's older now, but the bottom line is they drafted Watson, who should be good for them. They will find replacements for MVS. They will throw screens out of the backfield, and when he needs to, Aaron Rodgers will take off, and he will scamper into the end zone. It's what he does. Discount, double check all day, every day. Until I see him hurt or off the field, Aaron Rodgers will never be less than top 4 in this league. I don't care who he's got around him. And if you think anything other than that, you're nothing but a casual football fan. This guy might be a jerk, but the kid can flat out ball. Next, number 2, my quarterback, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Look, Mahomes almost peaked too early. Chiefs fans, you guys don't even realize what we have in this guy. I mean, we've been so spoiled for so long having a guy like Patrick Mahomes, to the point that when he had the type of season last season that ended the way he did, we were like let down by that. Meanwhile, that's better than 90% of the quarterback seasons in the National Football League. Now, are we going to ever see 50 touchdowns again? Probably not, because Brett Veach has rebuilt that defense, and I think that they'll get more stops. But Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. The boy can make throws that nobody else in this league can, going the other way, off the back foot. He's fairly accurate. The problem that I have with Patrick Mahomes is that he takes too many chances when the checks downs are there. When they should run the ball, they're forcing the throws, and maybe a lot of that's on Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. But Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. The gunslinger can throw it flat out, and he's got weapons all over the place. And he's got weapons with guys that are looking at one-year deals, that are on prove-it deals, that are going to be looking to play. Don't be all in your feelings that Tyreek Hill is gone. This is business. He's gone. Okay, so they've gotten a whole bunch of new guys. Sky Moore should be good for them. Juju's on that one-year prove-it deal. MVS will be the long guy. They've gotten rid of a bunch of guys, but they still have the peanut butter and jelly that is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Andy Reid is a throw-first quarterback. That whole offensive philosophy is to throw the ball to win, run the ball to just kind of keep the other defenses honest. This is going to be a winning season for the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Now, they got a tough schedule, too. Let me tell you something. The AFC is going to be a dogfight every week. There's a reason why those 4 quarterbacks are here in the top 10, because they're in the toughest division in all of football. And so they're going to have to score a lot of points to win a lot of games, because you don't know what you're going to get from that newly rebuilt defense. But Patrick Mahomes is still a football god. And for that reason and that reason alone, at that age, I got to put him number 2. I don't see anybody else being better than him right now except Josh Allen, who is my number 1 quarterback going into the 2022-2023 season. Now, I put Josh Allen there for a lot of reasons. I remember watching Josh Allen play at Houston his first year in the playoffs, and it was like a circus show. It was like a clown show. The guy could do nothing right. He was turning the ball over all over the place. He was just young and immature. He didn't have it together yet. But I've watched the progression and the maturation of this guy over the last couple of years turn into the biggest offensive threat in the National Football League from the quarterback position. 6'6", can run, will run over you, will hurdle you, and from a standing position can probably throw the ball 60 to 70 yards. He's accurate. He's got Stephon Diggs. He's got Dawson Knox. They got Devin Singletary. They just drafted this really, really good running back that will help a lot in the backfield. They went out and they helped patch up that defensive line. They drafted some defensive backs. There's no way in hell that they should have lost in Kansas City in the playoffs. And I'm here to tell you, if they would have won that game, they would have destroyed everybody that they would have played left. The Buffalo Bills are my pick to win the Super Bowl this year. Josh Allen's my pick to win the MVP this year. And I'm pushing all my chips into the middle of the table with the Buffalo Bills. And for that reason and that reason only, I think that Superman this year will be the white Cam Newton, except better in Josh Allen. So that's World of Matchups, top 10 quarterbacks for the 2022-2023 season. Like, subscribe to World of Matchups. Leave me a comment telling me what you think about the list. Leave me your list. I'm open to debating this all day, every day. I'll probably do a couple more lists coming here shortly. Running backs, top 10 defenses. We definitely don't want to have any dead air during the offseason. And before you know it, training camp will start, and we'll be back at it again. Like, subscribe at Grab It Television. Remember, you are watching the most comprehensive and productive national television show coming to the big screen in what could be years in World of Matchups. So hit us up, holler at us, let us know what you thought about the list, show us your list, and we'll keep it moving. Dexter Reed coming to you live and direct from sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm out.